Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Garbage Horror Out of the Can, our last in our laser tag review series, as we make the lengthy drive across the Causeway to visit the Spaceport in Mandeville, Louisiana. Located at 3547 Highway 190, right next to the Kmart.
Yes.
That kind of tells you already what you're in for with this. Yeah, this was for us kind of a pilgrimage. We made a day of it.
Yeah.
We got us a deal at a restaurant right nearby. A very Mandy's. M-A-N-D-E-S. Highly recommend the crawfish burgers there, by the way. If anyone's
awesome.
actually from Mandeville and wants to check out Mandy's Crawfish Burger, great place to go eat. Highly recommend it. Can't say enough good things about it. The Spaceport. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those reviews. All right.
An owie. Does that count?
Yes, it does count as an owie. The basic deal is this. We once again got a Groupon, completing the trifecta of Groupon laser tag and missions here.
Right.
But as I'm wearing the little kitty-ass bracelet they gave us still, trying to spin it around. You can't see it. We'll put the image up here.
Yeah.
We actually didn't even spend all 3 of the games we got.
No.
You know, we have a rule with our reviews. We try everything at least twice. We try to get at least 3. We watch every movie twice.
Right.
We watch, we do all the laser tag places, at least 2 games, preferably more, ideally. Spaceport, we didn't do that.
No.
I'm sorry to say, and I would like to say I regret that, but honestly, the experience there was just not what we wanted. It was not amusing or entertaining to us at all.
No. Let's start with the observation area.
There's one?
Exactly. Okay, so...
Yeah, you see, we have a rule. First time in a new arena, observation deck.
Right.
Pit.
Right. And the best one for that is probably laser tag games.
Laser tag games really does have a good observation area.
Right. It goes the length of the arena, and you can go out actually to the middle of it and see pretty much everything the player sees.
Yeah, it mirrors the bridge area in that arena. So you've got a pretty good overview of the entire arena.
Right. That's pretty good. Adventure Quest has
mediocre one. It's
one in the corner, so you can't really see. But that might actually help whenever you're on the ground because you don't know what to expect as much.
And it still gives you a very good overview of the arena.
Right.
You still see over 80% of it, I would say.
Yeah, and you can watch your kids if you're a parent.
Yeah, if you're a parent want to watch your kids, you'll be able to see them the whole time. It's not like you're really missing anything important.
Spaceport, however...
has a window!
2 windows and a hallway
on one side of the
way to the restrooms.
One side of the arena, it's literally a window that peeks into one side of it. I think it's the green side you're looking at. So you can't see the red side at all. Screw that. You can see that it exists, but that's it. But you can't see into the red side at all. You can't see much past the center of the arena. No. This is a small arena.
Okay, so that's the observation area.
Yeah.
Let's start off with what we did next. We went into the waiting area.
The pack room-ish area.
Yeah.
The pack room, we'll talk about pack room and equipment, I guess, in the same breath here. The packs are all uni-color. They're basically, they exist kind of in a natural, neutral state where they have to be activated by one of the marshals and employees who tells them what color. And that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
It allows a lot of customization of the game. Because the other arenas, Laser Tag Games and Adventure Quest, both have a 2-team system. This one can have up to 4 different colors.
Right, although they only use 2.
And it's in the game we played and all the games we observed, too.
Right, and the colors were very similar. So if you have color blindness, you might have trouble with the ones they pick.
This is something that actually really does get to me. I'm not technically colorblind, but as Crystal will testify, she's observed this. I have significant trouble telling apart colors. It's not like red, green, shades of colors.
Right.
So a lot of these arenas, if you have like blue and green, I can't tell them. And if you have like a dark red and a dark yellow and a red, I get them confused too.
Right.
Or
and
an
this
orange
was
and a red.
almost an orangish red and a red.
Yeah, and so even her, with her being an artist with great color depth and color perception. was having trouble.
From the observation area, I couldn't tell that there were two teams.
I mean, it was very difficult to tell these colors apart.
Yeah.
Though I got to admit that it's cool that it does enable multiple styles of gameplay.
Right.
You can set up as 2 teams, as 4 teams, every man for himself. Every game can be different, so that's kind of cool.
Right.
But the pack room is very small, even with like just 5 or 6 players. It gets very, very crowded in there.
Right.
And long story short, it's chaotic, but that's the stage. Because the equipment, let's backtrack. The equipment itself, other than the coolness of it.
Right. It is a full vest.
It's a full vest.
And it clips in the front.
And on the sides, too. It does both. You can actually put it on either way.
Yeah, which is cool.
But
the target areas are patches. Yeah. They're not the little glowing light.
Yeah, you have a patch right here, kind of on the front of the shoulder.
Right here.
And a stripe coming down the breast area.
Yeah, and 2 on the back.
And 2 on the back. And the gun has no sensor on it whatsoever.
And they're not lighted.
No.
I mean, not in a traditional pack sense.
There's no
They're like flat panels.
Yeah, it's like backlighting almost. Yeah. Just kind of a way to think about it.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool. Mm-hmm. The packs feel adequately heavy. They're a good size.
Yeah, I like the actual vest part, but not the target areas.
And not the gun.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to the gun in a minute. Get into the arena, though. It's pandemonium.
Yeah, first they let people in first.
Yeah. Which is what this is frustrating, because initially it was going to be us and 2 other kids, 2 on 2. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. It's a good way to learn an arena.
Right.
Good, small, controllable game.
Yeah.
Learn the layout of the land, and then come back and do the larger games later. That's how we like doing arenas. Right. But we get in with these 2 kids, and I'm like, okay. Dan said, okay, you got 20 seconds. I'm like, 1,002. I'm finding me a spot.
Yeah.
And I get to 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute. The game hasn't started. The reason is they're letting other people into the arena after we're inside and after the game should have already started. And so we're roaming around like idiots, bumping into each other and going, unable to shoot anything and wondering what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
And that went on for like 2 minutes or more.
Right, because I mean our vests were on and blinking, but they weren't.
But the guns were not active.
Right.
And that was really frustrating.
Yes. Also, in the pack room, they did not give any instructions.
There was 0 instruction whatsoever.
We didn't know if there was a base. We didn't know how the points were calculated.
No.
Nothing.
There was a sign that told you how the points were calculated, but it's very, very small.
And we had to ask, and then she pointed it out to us.
Yeah,
like we were supposed to read that while they were rushing us in.
Yeah, I mean, basically, here's your pack. Go in. Yeah. Like, there's a very wordy, lengthy sign right there that contains all this information. Mm-hmm. And you don't have... We didn't have time, at least. And none of the other games, it seemed like they had time.
No.
Long story short, though, once you get into the arena... And also, they don't... Even the sign doesn't help, because, like I said, the rules change every game.
Right.
And they don't explain what rules that game is playing by.
No.
And so basically it's, okay, what do y'all want to do? All right, that sounds good. Throw you in and then start the game.
And hope everybody knows what the hell you're doing.
And I had no idea what the heck I was doing in the game, but neither did anyone else. So It was pure pandemonium in that ring. Mm-hmm. And the arena, like I said, is not a very big one.
No.
And they advertise on the site it being a multi-story arena.
Bullshit. Sorry.
Bull. It has these little ramps which go up, I would say about 3 feet, maybe.
Maybe.
2-3 feet in that range. It's very shallow ramps. There's no getting above the other players. Both Adventure Quest and Laser Tag games had actual levels where you could get 1 story above, 1 or even 2 stories above, 1.5 to 2 stories above everyone else. This one, you were like, above it.
Exactly.
It's like usually, if I stood up fully.
Usually, even if you go up on a half tower at like Adventure Quest, you can see the span of the arena, and you're up above everybody's head.
Yeah.
And this, you might have been at their waist. And these are kids.
Yeah. I mean, Adventure Quest, I think, the half towers put you up about 4 feet.
Right.
And which is actually pretty high up. And the full tower puts you up at least 10.
Right.
So that's literally an entire story up.
Right.
You're climbing the equivalent of a full flight of stairs to get there.
Yeah. This was not that.
No, it's not. That was very flat, very static arena. And there was not a lot in the way of difference. I mean, all the barriers looked the same. They were just placed in various points.
They had little walls spaced out.
With little shooting holes.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
That was pretty much the only obstacle in the arena. It was very, very dull, very, very fast in that arena. And it did not encourage any strategy.
No.
Because there was no point in that arena better than any other.
Right. And running is allowed, kneeling is allowed.
Yeah, it's a free-for-all in there.
Kids on the floor.
Which, I mean, that technically was against the rules, but hey, there's no one in there to enforce them.
No, in fact, if you needed a marshal, you had to go out and find them because they weren't waiting out in the waiting area.
No, they weren't in the waiting area either. They were roaming everywhere else. In fact, we saw one poor kid whose pack died, had to leave the arena and then go around the arcade to find someone to help him.
Right. And by the time they found someone, the game had ended, so that kind of sucked for him.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for that kid.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he was using one of the unlimited passes, so, I mean, I guess it wasn't a terrible situation, but still, it did suck for him. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's utter chaos in there. It felt like I was stuck in a bouncy castle with laser guns rather than an actual laser tag arena.
Right. And, I mean, the whole place is
And that's even with grown-ups in there. It doesn't matter how old the players are. It's utter madness because you've got kids running and crashing and everything. Mm-hmm. And the guns are atrocious.
They're bricks.
They're built like, if you remember the original series Star Trek Phaser, I'm sure we're going to dig up an image for this, aren't we?
Yeah.
Where they had the handle and the gun swooped back. It looked really awesome in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. But I can see why that is completely impractical as a weapon. Yeah. Because it feels like utter shit.
And when you're used to doing two-handed, where you have your trigger finger here and you're gripping the barrel of the gun here, holding it something that doesn't come out much more than this is very hard to do.
And it's impossible to aim effectively.
Yeah, it is a one-handed gun.
Yeah.
But, you know, even if you do this, you're still not getting much balance.
You're not getting any aim. There's no precision with these weapons. And even if there were, the packs weren't reading hits.
No, they're...
The packs, I mean, I would shoot people 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Didn't matter. They weren't going down. They would shoot once, I would take the hit. But sometimes I'd hit them once on the first try. They'd go down and they'd be shooting me repeatedly. I wouldn't die.
Right. And then other times I'd be shooting somebody and they'd round a corner and then I would register the hit.
Yeah, I mean, then good shot, would say. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. I mean, the packs were completely unreliable, so forget about the actual game aspect of it.
Right.
Just, it's a bouncy castle with some elements of laser tag built in. That's all it is.
And a couple of things to note about the gameplay one, the bases do shoot back.
Yeah, there are 3 bases in the arena. There's a red base and a green base in the far corners, and a center base, which is neutral and can be shot by either party.
And if you get hit by a base, it's minus 500 points. Yes, minus points.
Yes. And hitting the base is only 25 in the center.
Right.
And 50 for the
home bases.
Yeah.
And...
Sorry.
If you get hit by other players, you get points deducted.
Yeah, too. So if you end up in the positive in points at all, you're doing pretty good.
Right.
You're doing better than most already.
I mean, we each, in the one game we played, got over 2,000 points
Yeah,
each.
we did reasonably good, I think, for not having any idea what the hell was going on.
For not having any idea and for having, like, 10 people against us.
Yeah, because they they mismatched the teams horribly in that game.
Yeah, they started putting all the kids against us. Which is fine, but whenever it's just 2 against 2. But whenever you get 12 against 2...
It begins to lose a lot of its luster.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the packs were terrible. I mean, these packs were probably older than a lot of the people playing the game.
I'm sure they were.
I mean, they were obviously prone to breaking. I didn't experience any breaking in the game I played, but I saw other players having a lot of trouble with them. We get lucked out in the game we did. But the reason we didn't actually play another game is because we decided to take a break because the action on the gun is very stiff.
Yes, it is.
And even someone like me, an avid laser tag player, used to squeezing off hundreds of rounds in a very short period of time, had a wrist cramp and needed a break. So we went and we played mini golf.
Yeah.
Have a little 3D mini golf. Isn't all mini golf 3D? When you think about it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the mini golf area is decorated very nicely. Yeah, I love the decoration.
That was the best thing really of the Spaceport, actually, is the murals and the props in the mini golf area, to be honest with you. And we got to hole 8.
Well, actually, we started off playing, and then some little kid ran up and started playing in front of us, like on the same hole.
Yeah, there was zero control. There's utter chaos there, too. No one doing anything to keep order, not even the parents. But the really bad thing was on hole 8, your ball got stuck in one of the obstacles, in like a little tunnel with a ramp in it. They're all over. They're like every hole's got one of these.
Yeah, and that was the only way you could go. There was not an around at this hole.
Yeah, so you had to go through. Your ball got stuck. You reached in and obtained an injury.
Yeah, I got poked.
It's a minor injury.
But I shouldn't be bleeding.
No, and she was bleeding pretty good from her hand on it, actually. She had to go to the bathroom. And I had to find a kid with much smaller hands than either of us to retrieve the ball. Right. Because where it was stuck, there was no way either of our hands were getting in there to get it. So he was able to get it very easily. That was the good news. But, we tried to talk to the owner about it. He couldn't find anything, but said, basically it's particle board, it can't splinter.
Right.
Yes, it can. I run a haunted house built out of particle board and part.
Well, part of it, yeah.
Part of it built with it. It splinters like a mug when it gets impacted.
Well, not only that, but it's just like, oh, you hit your fingernail? No, I didn't hit my fingernail.
I'm bleeding down my hand,
And when I asked for a Band-Aid, they didn't have one. They didn't have a first aid kit in a place where kids are running around wild.
Yeah.
That just seems like a bad idea.
It seems like a terrible idea. I mean, look. This is a laser tag review series, so really we shouldn't be talking about the mini golf anyway, but it's only pertinent because of the injury, and that's why we didn't go in for the second game, because we couldn't get first aid.
Frustrated.
She was livid, and also without a Band-Aid or some means to ensure the wound wouldn't reopen, it wasn't safe or practical to play it again, because at the time it was still very much a fresh injury. But look, this is a bouncy castle with laser guns involved. I said that earlier. That's how I'm describing it. If you are a remotely avid player, stay away.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Make the drive. If you're on the North Shore, make the drive across the Causeway. Go to either Laser Tag Games or Adventure Quest. If you come off the Causeway, you're relatively close to either. Both will be better arenas for you.
Right.
This place is small. It is crowded. It is complete pandemonium. It is just a place for parents to drop off their kids and go hit another shop or grab a beer or something else. Yeah. It's just basically a place to dump your children for a few hours.
Yeah.
Most laser tag arenas have a balance. They have that element of a place for kids to be kids, but it's also a place where there's there's an actual game happening. Here, I don't know what the game is. I don't think there is one.
Okay.
Any final thoughts?
No, you want to give a rundown of the prices
real quick? Games are 7.5 minutes long according to our gun, though they say they're on a 15-minute cycle. It's $6 per game if you buy them individually. You can get a 3-game pass for $15. That's supposedly what we had with the Groupon. It was 2-for-1 on those. You can also get $20 2-hour unlimited play, which would probably, if you played them straight, would get you about 8 games. The Spaceport, once again, is located at 3547 Highway 190 in Mandeville, Louisiana, right next to the Kmart. Check it out if you want, but I'm encouraging, especially if you're in the New Orleans area, take a pass on it. You've got much better arenas on this side of the lake.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Garbage Horror Out of the Can, reviewing the laser tag arena at the Spaceport.